Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, please do subscribe. Smack that notification bell hard like She-Hulk so you do not miss any new uploads. And if you're a return subscriber, please do comment that you've received the notification for this review. That would help out greatly. Also, if you enjoy it, please like and share this with others so they can enjoy it as well. And like I said, don't forget to comment. This is part of the 25 days of comic book reviews. This is actually for day 25, yes. The last day. On the 25th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me the Fantastic Four family. Yeah, that was kind of silly, but it ties in with the story actually. Now this is issue 3, where they go up against the Griever. Issue 2, Reed Richards, this guy here, he called all of their friends from Earth to this weirdo place. I can't remember where they were. And this woman named the Griever was attacking him. This is issues titled Family Reunion. So this is written by Dan Slott, and I have to say that I think he's doing an okay job. Now the strange part of this is it kind of seems like they packed as many characters into this as possible, because over here you have this type of thing. Her name's Sharon. Then there's Logan, who's not fully back in continuity yet. I mean, he came back in 2017, but that's complicated. This is Medusa, one of the Inhumans. Ben, Johnny, and I think that's Luke Cage. Spider-Man, Storm, and T'Challa, Black Panther. And so it's kind of weird. This is the Griever right here, this creature, this woman wearing this weirdo type helmet. And she goes on to say that Reed Richards, this guy, has heard her say it before. And he recalls something from years ago when he was younger. That he says, back. I locked myself in a room to think, to figure out a solution for everything, a way to discern when the universe would end and how to prevent it. But it was no use. Any equation I tried, every idea I came up with, they all fell apart. Well, that's because you're not God. Anyway, he said he heard a voice calling out to him, and here it is. You lose. But what I like about this is the Griever, here, looks just like the Batman who laughs. So to me, this is like a middle finger to DC. And he's thinking that she intended to destroy his hope. But he always knows that there's a way out of any situation. So Reed tells Ben and Johnny to go over to her teleportation pod and destroy the one that brought her here. So they go and they make a short order of the thing. There's some parts of this story, in this particular issue, that are, kind of confusing. And this shows some doubt here in the mind of Sue Richards. When Medusa says, "Did your husband just strand us in a different universe? Away from our families," Luke Cage says. And she says, "I'm sure he knows what he's doing, Medusa." And then she, in smaller letters, which means she's whispering to herself, "Raid, you better know what you're doing." And the Griever thinks it's madness, because apparently they just destroyed their own way out. And Reed says, "No, it was your way into our universe." So, he wants them to take down the device that'll get her home or whatever. It is kind of confusing to me. Now the artwork, it's been pretty consistent through the, this is the third issue so far. And, there's nothing in this particular issue that stands out artistically. But then Richard's daughter, Valeria, sees her Uncle John and just goes and embraces him because she's missed him for so long. And I don't know who this guy is. Really weird. He says, it is the Ben. The Ben has returned to us. I don't know what this stuff is about the future foundation that they keep going on about in the context of this story. And Frankie, the son of Reed Richards, is going about how he screwed everything up, blah blah blah. And then all of a sudden, She-Hulk, who was not summoned to the planet, and at the end of issue 2, apparently is there. Now, she was a member of the Fantastic Four at one time, so she has a right to be there. But, this is her entrance into the story. For some reason, she just comes out of nowhere. So that's sort of strange. And then Richards goes on to say how the Griever is a manifestation of a thought or an idea or whatever. And I still have no idea what's going on with their uniforms. This looks like a weird S, not a 4. And I have to wonder why Valeria is wearing a 6. I don't get it. And they tell their son, Franklin, who's lost his powers, that they need him to face off against the Griever. And he's like, "No, Dad, there's no way I can do that again." And I thought this would be I thought this was going to be really good. A scene between Spider-Man and Franklin. He says, "Hey Franklin, Spider-Man, guys, is it okay if I..." And Sue says, "Of course." Now he starts to tell him about, with great power comes great responsibility. But then Ben yanks him away. It could have been a nice moment between these two who probably barely know each other. He's like, nope, not happening. Shut up. Don't put all of that on the kid's back. But fortunately, Dan Slott writes in some really nice dialogue here where Ben does encourage Franklin. He says, hey, you don't have to. I said we. You ain't doing this alone. So he's reminding him that Franklin is not going into this fight by himself. That he has family to count on. And so they both go up against the Griever and yell, it's clobbering time! And then over the page, somewhere, somehow, Iceman appears out of nowhere. He was not called to the planet at the end of issue 2. And Johnny says, hey, Iceman, what are you doing here? You're not one of the Fantastic Four. He says, sure I am. Remember that time you guys made me a member back when Namor? He says, oh no, that totally didn't count. And Tom Brevoort says, has there in the little box, an untold tale for another day. Honest, Tom. Okay, so they're going up against the Griever to keep her, hopefully, distracted. Now, I thought that Medusa could have been used more in this story to do what she's attempting to do right here, to wrap her hair around the Griever, because she's got some incredibly long hair. I mean, it can go for miles. But, that's not the way it works. And Valor was told to go to this piece of junk. And Richard said that she would know what to do when she got there. Then she figures out, I was like, duh! Because she must be a brainiac of the family. And Johnny gets to his destination. He hasn't figured out what he's supposed to do. And then the Griever gets a hold of Franklin and says, every family tree withers at my touch. Every line stops eventually. Or suddenly. Watch, I was too easy on your firstborn the last time. A mistake I will not repeat. So she's going after Franklin, and he's not afraid, or at least he pretends not to be afraid, and he puts on a brave face. But then over the page, it shows the concern of his mother, Sue Richards. Take your hands off my son. And the Griever starts to, really berate Sue Richards. But she's able to get her son out of her clutches. And then, back at this pod or whatever it is that Johnny was supposed to go investigate, he finds the Incredible Hulk. And he gets and he hears from Reed Richards and who says, Johnny, is there a problem? Well, and the Hulk just says, I was never here, kid. You didn't see me. And you broke all these big bad machines yourself. You get the credit. Got it? And so, this, hopefully this will be explained how the Hulk got here in later issues, because it's very confusing. And now Valor has her own codename, Brainstorm, while Franklin has his codename, Powerhouse. I mean, it's sort of cheesy, but it's nice. And this is where Reed confronts her, the Griever. And she says, "There's no avoiding me, Richards. I am the Griever. I am the embodiment of entropy. I am destruction, I know. With all the power to destroy and none to create. This isn't your ship, is it? You took it from a realm you destroyed, didn't you? You can't rebuild it or fix it, can you? I thought as much." And he says, "We left you with one working teleport." So, in other words, they left her with a way to get back to her own realm, her own universe. And so they basically won the fight. And there's a Black Panther, saw him a few pages back. Don't know how he got there because he was not at the end of issue 2 either. So this story is, don't think I would say convoluted. It's more like, to me, confusing. How with a story, there always needs to be an explanation. And so Ben announces that he is getting married to Alicia. And they're gonna be having a wedding. He says, "Yeah, back on Earth. And you're all invited. So let's go home already." And that's the end of issue 3. I thought it was, a fun read, but some parts, like I said, were a little bit confusing. I'm hoping that won't be the case, in future issues. I like a nice issue that I can go through and just enjoy and not be confused about what's going on, or how did someone suddenly appear here or out of nowhere. But, it's the Fantastic Four, so how can I say no? And plus, so far, Dan Slott has been doing a good job with the book. So, I enjoyed it. What did you all think of it? Let me know in the comments below if you already read this story, if you bought it, or if you didn't like it. Let me know why. I thank you for stopping by. Please do subscribe, smash that bell so you don't miss any new uploads. I am Michael for Spirit Comics. Till next time, true readers, and Merry Christmas.